Welcome to Global Life 254. Today is on 31st January 2025 and we are still on the war happening in the DRC. So after the capture of Goma by the M23 rebels, Felix Tshisekedi came out and heavily denounced the act and said very categorically the capture of Goma is a declaration of war. Meanwhile, when he was making the press briefing, there were protests in Kinshasa. The people of the DRC have been protesting, and among the reasons for the protests is the inaction by the international community to the rebel activity going on in the eastern part of the DRC. The international community inaction to the rebel insurgency and the militarism happening in the DRC. So in this specific video, I'm going to be telling you guys some of the reasons why the civilians in DRC have been protesting and what exactly they feel about the capture of Goma. Thanks so much and welcome. There have been significant protests in Kinshasa, the capital of the DRC, in response to the M23 rebel group's offensive in the eastern part of the country. The M23, reportedly backed by Rwanda, had recently captured Goma, a major city in eastern DRC, intensifying public outrage. Demonstrators targeted multiple embassies, including those of France, Belgium, and Netherlands, the US, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, and the UN. Protesters accused these nations of complicity or inaction regarding the M23's advances. Several embassy gates were set on fire and properties were damaged. Despite police efforts to disperse the crowds using tear gas, many embassies were ransacked. The Congolese government acknowledged the public's anger but urged protesters to maintain peaceful demonstrations and refrain from violence. These events underscore the deep-seated frustrations among Congolese citizens concerning foreign involvement in the ongoing conflict in the eastern region of the country.
Kinshasa, damaged by protesters angry at the world's inaction to the rebel M23 advance in the east of the country. Some residents in the city have welcomed President Felix Tshisekedi's call for a military mobilization to defend the country. I would like to congratulate the chief for his speech. We are the people, and we want him to know that we are always with him. But we advise him to keep his eyes open, because around him there are traitors, thieves who deceive him, and they are members of the presidential coalition. Tshisekedi made the call in a television address after the Rwanda-backed rebels seized the eastern city of Goma. We want young people to enlist in the army so that we can guard against the enemy, day and night, to protect our country. We young people will not give in. I'm happy with this call by Tshisekedi. The Rwanda-backed rebels on Thursday said they will continue their offensive all the way to Kinshasa. Tshisekedi has vowed a rigorous and coordinated response to push them back, but says he remains committed to diplomacy. Residents say they want an end to the war. Talking a lot is not a problem, but we want the president to unite the politicians and the military to have the same vision to win the war. The regional East African community has called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire and strongly urged the government to hold talks.
Now, as you know, there's so much that has been happening, and you expect much more now that Felix Tshisekedi declared war on the M23, and they have intentions, not just from the DRC government, but also the international community threatening to go into the DRC and help the DRC army. Now that the M23 have proven too powerful and too militarized, the international community is planning to go into Congo and do something for the government. So whatever happens, I'll be here and I'll be reporting. Just stay tuned. Much more is coming. Thanks for watching.